Welcome to this KnowledgeSmart support video where we will discover user data fields. It is possible to assign 5 data field values against your user records. These are extremely valuable for filtering and creating groups and dynamic groups across users, invites, and results. Correctly populated data fields will help you create a variety of reports and charts for your management team. To view the data fields on a per user basis, go to Users and submenu User List, and then look out for the magnifying glass icon here to view or edit individual user data. Let's discuss typical examples of data fields. So we might look at office or studio location, job title, industry discipline, business unit or division, perhaps project team name, director or manager name, or even current main software title. On the screen we also see certification, so capturing whether the user has done professional certification or not. We've got an additional example of what year they started with the company, what sector they currently focused on, and how many years project experience they have. It is helpful to consider other data that you're using within the company. So perhaps looking at your HR system and looking at what data fields are being captured in those data sources, as this can help guide how to best structure your data fields. KnowledgeSmart administrators can add custom labels to the data fields on the Settings menu and submenu User Data Fields. Enter the relevant label for each data field in the Custom Label fields, and then remember to click Save to record that change. Next up, we will review 3 different ways to populate your user data fields. The first method that we are going to be talking about is where we import our CSV template to upload your user records. This would then include the completed data fields. So to do this, you would be in the Users menu and submenu Manage User Data. Hover over to the question mark icon on the right and then download the template file from this link here. This might be a helpful method for you if you want to use some user data from another company system, such as an HR system or a talent management software. To view your updated user records, come over to the Users menu and User List. Now let's take a look at the second option, where we instruct our users to populate the user data fields on a per test basis or during their assessment session, because this would be data that we don't currently have access to. So here under Settings and User Data Fields, we want to make sure that this first box is ticked, Show on Test Start Page. And then we will decide if we want to make it mandatory for users to enter this information or not. You can ask users to fill in the data fields as a free text field, or if you prefer, you can display a predefined drop-down list. Capture your drop-down items here on the right and just separate them with a comma. Click Save to record those changes. The next thing to check is under Settings and UI Options. You want to have this option here, Display User Captured Page 1 Start and Display User Data Capture Page 2 End, ticked. So you want to have these two options ticked so that the user will be prompted to answer or complete those data fields. As you can see on the screen now, the user will be prompted to make their selections from the drop-down lists during the assessment process. We will now discuss the third option, which is asking your users to populate the user data fields on their individual KnowledgeSmart user profile pages. So to access the user profile as an administrator, you would come over to Users and User List and find this icon here with the green arrow to then go over to the user area. If you want to follow option number 3, you want to make sure that you have this column here ticked called Show on User Pages, and that of course is also under the User Data Fields submenu. So if you want the users to populate the user data fields on their individual KnowledgeSmart pages, make sure that you have Show on User Pages ticked here, and then of course save to record that change. The user will move to the My Details menu once they've logged into their user profile, and they will then be able to populate those user data fields from underneath this submenu. If you have 2 or more accounts, you can assign setting changes across multiple accounts at the same time. To do this, click Show Linked Accounts and then select the relevant linked accounts where you want to apply those settings to. If we then just look at an example of how these user data fields help us, we are under the Users menu and submenu User List, and I have just selected Show Dynamic Groups, and now I can see that I can now start using my user data fields to define a new dynamic group, which can then be replicated across to results and invites as well. The KnowledgeSmart user data fields are very, very helpful when we are working with results visualizations. If you need any assistance with your user data fields or would like to brainstorm how best to use this area of the platform, please feel free to reach out to us. We would be happy to assist.